Muslim running for US Senate just announced her horrific plans for America if she wins. 45-year-old Democrat Deidre About, a native of Little Rock, Arkansas who is now a Phoenix area attorney and civil rights activist, has officially thrown her hat, or hijab in this case, into the ring to run for the US Senate representing the great state of Arizona. About formally launched her candidacy at a brief 10:30 a.m. event with her supporters at the Japanese Friendship Garden in downtown Phoenix. The journey that I have decided to take on today is not just for the people who look like me or sound like me, but for all Arizonans, About told onlookers. Because we cannot continue to go backwards on this path that weakens our children's education, strips healthcare from people who need it the most, locking up and breaking up families, and, once again, empowering big banks that cause the worst housing crisis in Arizona. I am with the growing majority of Arizonans who know that anger and resistance can only take us so far, she added. We need to unite to move our families forward. We need to unite to move Arizona forward. We need to unite to move America forward. What really concerned witnesses was who were in attendance was that during her 15-minute event, an upside-down Arizona flag flew behind About, although a campaign spokesman later said it was an error and not a political statement. Let's all remember that the Muslim faith is very keen when it comes to symbolism. I would have thought nothing much of it myself, but then I started to research as to who exactly this woman is. She is an attorney who self-professes herself as being a defender of civil rights, but not the civil rights of people from the cesspool nations where Muslims originate from, places where women aren't even allowed to display their faces, leave the house without a male relative, and can be beaten by their husbands at any time without consequence. She is an attorney for the Council on American Islamic Relations or CAIR, which has been labeled as a terrorist organization by the United Arab Emirates. In fact, she was the person who founded the first CAIR chapter in the state of Arizona. Fox News reports, a US-based pro-Muslim group that enjoys close ties with the Obama administration has landed on one Arab nation's list of terrorist organizations. The Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR, was one of 82 groups around the world designated terrorist organizations by the United Arab Emirates, placing it in the company of Al-Qaeda, Islamic State and others. While CAIR has previously been linked to Hamas, it has held hundreds of meetings with White House officials on a wide range of community issues and has sought to present itself as a mainstream Muslim organization. We call on the United Arab Emirates cabinet to review this list and remove organizations such as CAIR, the Muslim American Society, MAS, and other civil society organizations that peacefully promote civil and democratic rights and that oppose terrorism whenever it occurs, wherever it occurs and whoever carries it out, CAIR wrote in a statement on its Facebook page, which also called its inclusion on the UAE list a bizarre move. Despite its good standing in Washington, CAIR has had its share of controversy. In 2007, the organization was named along with 300 others as an unindicted co-conspirator in a case regarding funding to extremist group Hamas. Its critics have long accused the group of having ties to groups like the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas. Some terrorism experts applauded the UAE's designation, saying CAIR is an arm of the Muslim Brotherhood. The United Arab Emirates could have banned the Muslim Brotherhood and left it at that. Ryan Mauro, a national security analyst for the Clarion Project, told FoxNews.com. Instead, they went the extra mile to call out major Brotherhood affiliates in Europe and the US. The point that the UAE is making is that the Brotherhood operates in the West and it is worried about these affiliates' influence on Western policy. Federal prosecutors have explicitly named CAIR and MAS as Muslim Brotherhood entities, yet the UAE is expressing more public concern about this than the US does, Mauro added. Whereas they appear in our media and meet with our officials, the UAE views them as extremists unworthy of being treated as representatives of Muslims. CAIR spokesman Ibrahim Hooper said his organization, as well as other Muslims who are against terrorism, are often unfairly portrayed. Obama provided examples of religious leaders engaged in the ideological fight against extremism, quoting a Muslim sheikh who said, "We must declare war on war, so the outcome will be peace upon peace." Hooper said, that sheikh is Abdullah bin Bayar, a 79-year-old cleric who, even though lauded on the world stage for his recent efforts at peacemaking, is dogged by controversy over connections to the Muslim Brotherhood. The UAE's list was likely to ratchet up the pressure on the Muslim Brotherhood by lumping it together with extremists such as the Islamic State and al-Nusra, al-Qaeda's affiliate in Syria. The move follows a decision by Saudi Arabia in March to designate the Brotherhood a terrorist group along with al-Qaeda and others. The Emirates voiced support for the decision at the time, and accused Islamist groups of trying to topple its Western-backed ruling system. Saudi Arabia and the UAE have taken a firm stance against the Muslim Brotherhood since its ascendance in Egypt in the wake of the Arab Spring, and the oil-rich Gulf neighbors are strong supporters of Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. He was elected earlier this year after leading the military overthrow of Islamist President Mohamed Morsi, a member of the Muslim Brotherhood. Officials at the US State Department did not immediately return comment when asked about the UAE's designation list. Of course, she is now whining about the backlash she has been receiving from Americans since she announced her candidacy. Because we know the drill. Muslims are experts at playing the victim card and liberals excel at defending them. Although Muslims don't believe in anything liberals stand for, let's hope and pray her candidacy doesn't go anywhere. Leaving aside the fact that she's a Muslim who still wears a hijab, she is a leader of a group known to have ties to terrorism. This isn't what our great nation wants, nor needs.